Hey everybody, Kite Lord here, and I'm actually doing this right after I did the Trolls Chill raid. So you won't see much different at my HQ, which is considered your kingdom. And just doing this, whoops, what I hit? Okay, never mind. Just doing this real quick to refresh my kingdom. Yeah, there's nothing new here. And by the way, when I suggest things in my video, they're suggestions. They're not things you actually have to do. They're just little hints and tricks you might not know and might help you out. So you don't actually have to do things my way. You do things completely different if you want. Have at it. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, this is actually the first part of the Desert storyline, and it's also going to be the first raid because the first raid is relatively early that's connected to the Gobi Desert storyline. And basically, this is just telling you that basically somebody kicked out the king and he's pretty evil and you're going to help him reclaim his throne. Now, once you reach it, I think it's right after you complete this quest, the campaign Ancient Enemy. Yeah, it's right after you complete Ancient Enemy that you'll see a symbol of the king heading towards the capital. Now, that will take 7 days without you doing anything. It'll take 7 days. It's not actually that long. But you can use that time to build up your stuff. There are ways to quicken him up. You can use crystals. There's a small little quest thing, or if you get a certain amount of tables, certain amount of pumpkins, and collect emeralds, you will have him arrive faster. And basically, you go to the Imperial Palace, and he will tell you what happened. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to see that part because I actually did that ahead of time. Let's begin, shall we? That unfortunate soul is in trouble. Let's help him. Now, as you can see, there's this guy surrounded by scorpions. Scorpions they actually deal 2 damage each, I believe. By the way, I do not suggest doing this until you have decent stats, because you will get wrecked if you don't. They deal 2 damage each, as you saw. Just talk to this guy now. He'll give me the ancient manuscript. Thanks for saving me. The exiled sultan sent us in search of an artifact. But as soon as we started our dig, a terrible monster attacked. My legs are still shaking. I took the only thing I could before I fled the tomb, the ancient manuscript. Our hero's tale continues in the sun-baked wastes of the Desert Kingdom, where evil has once again besmirched the Empire. Now, there are side quests everywhere. Just talk to him. The denizens of the desert have adapted to endure withering sun and impossible heat, so your incinerate and spark spells won't be as devastating here. Bring me a few select herbs, and I will teach you a truly chilling spell, Deep Freeze. Now, I don't know, do I have enough? No, I don't. Gotta gather Wolfsbane, which is, like, you'll have a ton of that normally, but I had just completed a quest that required it elsewhere, and so I don't have access to that. Yeah. Now you can go over here, fight another scorpion. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of herb spots here. Ooh, a chest. Yeah, and, like, the chest, all the drops here are a lot. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, there was an X there that I didn't see. Okay. You can use toolkits to dig up the X's. Another scorpion. It'll be easy enough to dispatch. Talk to this guy. Hail, mighty traveler. take pity on a humble merchant. The road is swarming with scorpions, and their numbers grow by the day. I'll be ruined if my caravan can't reach the market. Which gave me another new quest, which basically is to get rid of 4 scorpions up ahead. And that's relatively easy. Now, as you see, there's a bunch of herb gathering spots. There will be other locations to do so. I'll be doing that off camera, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, as you can see, you fight 4 more scorpions. And they pretty much defeat most of your troops. They are powerful. They also have a high critical hit rate, which I forgot to mention. Yeah, as you can see, they hit criticals a lot more often than most enemies. Just had to defeat this one last scorpion. Thankfully, I have a high dodge rate, so every time they attack me, I have a higher chance to dodge than the average troops. Now, as you saw, I got something for that. Ooh, mining spot too. I've got those show up here. Plus the vase. You can find various items throughout this area. And different ones will have different items. It's not randomized, so you'll always get the same items every time. Path blocked, scalding steam. Oh, this place is riddled with geysers. There is no safe way past. Maybe someone in the village will know another path. Go over here, talk to this person. Yes, geysers. The ground hasn't stopped trembling since the star fell and shattered the earth. The Tungar settlers predicted its coming. Today, wait, maybe you can find an answer in the scar it left behind. Now, this also gives you access to the first raid. Which is here. Now, it does require a fair amount of resources, which I dislike. It requires a lot more than the average raid. Now, unfortunately, the items it gives is not really that... It's decent, don't get me wrong. Like, once you get to the heroic raid stats, it will give you the guard gloves, which is a very good item. But otherwise, it doesn't really give good stuff. And you have to waste a lot of your stuff doing this one. Here's the cause of all the geysers. Maybe we can relieve some of the pressure at its source and be able to reach the desert garrison. And this is not the normal part of the quest. Since this is part of the quest line, it has a different objective than it normally does. The normal objective is to go around and destroy all these ancient pots, get what's in them, and kill a certain, the magma scarab, which is right there. That's the normal objective. As you can see, as I said before, mages have a high hit and a fairly decent dodge rate. But their dodge rate is mostly towards archery, which is why which I think is mainly for PvP. And unfortunately, for this version, they have not added PvP yet. Ooh, another X. The X's are kind of hard to spot, but they give decent amount of stuff when you find them. And it's always well worth it. Of course, I coughed during this. Now, I'm not going to be coming back to this area anytime soon. Because, as you can see, the scarabs are tough. But another reason is you can eventually catch them. Which is another reason why I'm not going to be coming back until I can catch them. I'm just doing this for storyline purposes right now. And as you can see, they're fairly tough. They're not overwhelmingly powerful, but they can be annoying. Especially in large groups such as this. Use another toolkit. Get that. Now, by the way, as I said, using the items here are well worth it, because you get a fair amount of stuff for using them. And the Scarab Wings is for a side quest that will unlock later. As you progress through the desert, it will unlock eventually. I think that one's a fairly early unlocking one, I am not sure. Yeah, I'm just hiring a bunch of troops right now. Yeah, and you're going to use a lot of troops in the desert. It eventually gets ridiculous. But in return, you're also getting a lot more experience than you normally would. So, it's a give and take sort of thing. What's up with my throat today? And yes, you can hear the sound now. I had to change the settings around so you can hear a little bit of the sound, but so you won't have to worry about me talking over it. I did a few tests before doing this. As you go around, you can find chests. Chests are easy to unlock here. Use a long rope on this. You're able to climb up. Able to search this chest, which I think gives more... Yeah, it gives over 1,000 gold, so... Considering ropes only cost 800 normally, that's a pretty good deal. And you get to get whatever's in that head. Some of the items are randomized. I don't know if all of them are. I think most of them are not. Yeah, basically it's going to be a lot of this. And... as the guy said before, my spells are not going to be as powerful against these guys because, well, they're adapted to it. So, I won't deal as much damage as I would against other enemies. By using spells, anyways. Now, I'm going to have to use, I think, an explosive here to reach that chest. Yep, I was right. And you search the chest, of course. Again, well worth the resources you put in. You will not have to use the explosive at all these different geysers every single time. This is like a one-time thing because it's part of the quest line. And you go around, blow up the geysers, and it will leave the pressure and be able to allow you to pass. Let me see, did I miss anything to pick? No, I didn't. Yeah, the meteor scarab. Affected by the meteorite magma, the shell of this scarab has become much harder. It will take some doing to penetrate his defenses. Attack orbs will definitely help. Now, I got a few attack orbs. Don't remember the exact number I have. I know I have a lot of them. Yeah, and as you can see, he has 2 little defenders. So, I'm going into my pack right now. Oh, okay, there we go. Now, I'm looking for my minor orbs of striking. Now, as you can see, I got normal orbs of striking, but considering those are a bit harder to come by, I'm not going to use them. And considering the meteor scarab, all scarabs have a high melee block rate. It's much higher than normal. Than most other monsters, I should say. And the meteor scarab is, I think, considered a boss, so he deals 1 extra damage. I gotta check. Well, I actually don't have to check, you'll see here. So my spells like meteor will be like no use, so spark instead. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, as I said, it has a high block rate, so I'm not going to use the large. Because the point of using a large one is completely lost whenever he blocks. So, it's not really worth doing it. And as you saw, I got 2 scarab wings for that. And right now I'm just going around fighting off these extra enemies to build up experience and grab extra scarab wings for later. Now I'm trying to spot more of those X's, because as I said, they're well worth the effort you put into them. I think there's one over here. Yes, there's one over here. Gotta back up a little bit. There we go. Boom. I believe that gives you 300 gold? No, 250, but considering they only require 200 to make, it's well worth it. Yeah, there we go. And they basically give you access to areas you wouldn't normally have access to. So they're well worth... A lot of this is well worth the effort put into it. And as you can see, your guys are gonna get their butts kicked. A lot. So all those profits you get normally go into your soldiers. So you basically break even, but considering how much experience you get from doing all this, it's worth it. But as I said, I would actually normally wait until I was a higher level, but considering I'm doing so well compared to other runs I've done, so... And besides, building up the barracks takes a long time anyway, so... And as you can see, it takes a lot to kill the scarabs. And they're vicious little buggers. Quite literally. I made a pun there and didn't even intend on it. Now, as I said, normally you would be going around breaking these vases and killing the meteor scarab. But since this is a special storyline mission this time, it has the objective of destroying the extra geysers. And I think I found everything? Yeah, all enemies are defeated. There's collecting of the rocks I could do, but that'll take so long. It'll make the video way too long. As you can see, now I have to go to each area. Now, normally also, another thing is, I believe there are normally traps around. Yeah. There will be like extra little geysers around, and they're considered a trap. So if you pass through it while the steam is happening, you will receive damage. But considering this is your first time coming here, it's a bit easier. Yeah, letting off steam, completed that quest. Oh, and you get 2 crystals for completing it for the first time. So it's definitely well worth all the effort you put into. As you can see, it went up by 2%. And so this one takes a long time to get to the heroic grade stats. And that's it. I'm going to continue a little bit more. And now that I've completed that, I can pass through safely. Just have to fight these scorpions. Let's see, do I have any more troops? Yeah, I can hire some of the... As I said, scorpions have a high critical rate. Now, there is a chest here known as an encrusted Imperial chest, which you can get encrusted keys by doing the Imperial Hunting Grounds raid. But it's a very rare drop. You're hardly ever going to get it. But again, well worth the effort of doing it. I can't remember the exact items that are in here. But yeah, you talk to this guy, and he tells you to go to the sages. So, yeah, go talk to that sage. Now, there's going to be scorpions along the road heading to him. Also, another thing I forgot to mention about the raids for the desert quest line. The other issue I have with them Besides the fact that they take forever to do, to get to the heroic stats. And that thing keeps popping up every now and then. I don't even know why that keeps popping up. Is the fact that some of them require you to have a certain reputation with a certain guild in the arena. Which, if you've seen my previous videos about this, you'll know what I'm talking about. And yeah, he won't... He basically told me he won't translate until the sages get some water. Now, the Hammertails, they're really annoying because they have a high melee block rate. And as you can see, it's not too good for my warriors. Fight this guy. Hey, you get to see 2 bosses in one video. And the stances, when you first start, they will be explained. Like, if you do the attack stance, you build up Fury faster, which is what's used for spells. And if you use the block stance, the Fury decrease. Also with the attack stance, your chances of hitting go higher up. But if you use the block stance, the amount of Fury you get goes down. But in exchange, your block chances increase significantly. So it's not a complete waste. And as you can see, these Hammertails are just like really annoying if you're using only melee. And considering your main hero is considered a melee damage unit, they can take a while. Especially if you don't have archers. Or mages. Mages work just as well. And I'm just going to complete this little part here, and then I'm going to be ending the video. Yeah, as you can see, they just, like, they deal high damage. All the creatures in the desert deal high damage, actually, I should say. And the Hammertails, after you beat them, can collect these vases. Search this chest. What does this chest have, actually? Ooh, that was a good find. And here's another place where I can use a toolkit. And I got some gold for it. So, I'm ending the video here. I'll pick this up again in another video. So, Hellcat Lord signing off. Actually, I should go back to my castle. Oh, and a lot of things are upgraded. I mean, completed. So, the trip wasn't 100% in vain. So, Hellcat Lord here signing off. Hope you all enjoyed this first part of the Desert campaign. And I'll be doing this again soon.